Smeaton Tower is one of the most iconic landmarks in the southwest of England, but it hasn't always been here. It was once a working lighthouse, protecting boats out at sea for almost 120 years. Historian Chris Robinson explains more.
Smeaton Tower replaced Rudyard's tower. They relied on candles, and one night one of the candles blew over and set fire to the whole of the top of the lantern and destroyed ultimately the whole of the tower. And that had succeeded an earlier tower, Wynne Stanley's tower, the first to be built on the Eddystone Reef, and he felt that actually it was going to withstand absolutely anything. So he came down from London when he got the notion that there was going to be a terrible storm and said, I will go and stay in the lighthouse. So Wynne Stanley perished with his own lighthouse. So there was a need for something that was windproof, fireproof, and Smeaton came along and decided that what was needed was a stone-built structure. This was a lighthouse that the stones would all interlock, and it would withstand the wind, the rain, storms, everything, and fire, of course, more importantly.
So why was Smeaton Tower moved from the Eddystone Reef to here, Plymouth Hoe?
The problem became one of Trinity House men thinking that actually the reef that it was standing on wasn't that safe, that particular bit. And they were worried that one day the reef might give way. So they commissioned James Douglas to build a taller, newer lighthouse on an adjacent part of the Eddystone Reef. And that meant that once it had been completed, the Smeaton's lighthouse was redundant. The original colour scheme, when it was last on the Eddystone Reef, was red and white stripes. And when it was first erected on the Hoe, it had the red and white stripes, although we only have black and white photographs to prove that to us, but we know that that was the colour scheme. During the war, it was felt that made it far too conspicuous, and so they gave it a more simple colour scheme, which was essentially just white with a green base. And then I think for a little while it was white with a black base. But then around about 1980, there was a suggestion to the Chamber of Commerce that we should really reinstate the red and white stripes, because that was how it was originally known, and that was its most iconic look, if you like. And so it's been red and white stripes ever since. Everybody likes a lighthouse because they think, do people really live in those? How do they live in them? And they don't get a chance to find out because they're all out at sea and they don't have access to them. It's simple, because they're either working or they're working and, like the current Eddystone Lighthouse, not lived in at all. It's remotely controlled. So the public don't have access to lighthouses. It holds a fascination with people. Of course, one of the other main reasons that people like to go to the top of the lighthouse is because the views from there are stunning. You look right across to Cornwall, you see the whole of Plymouth Sound for the fantastic natural harbour it is, and you get views back across the city and across the Royal Citadel.
The tower was built more than 250 years ago. It now serves as a tourist attraction to visitors of the city, a permanent reminder of its eventful past.